companies with safer DIY.
Yes.
They're interested in the safety of artists' live workspace and makerspace. And weirdly, a whole chunk of building code has gone missing.
This is the legendary Naomi Schiff. Everybody in Oakland should know who she is. She's done a lot of pioneering work, and when you see her, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank her very much. So you're honored to be in her presence. So anyway, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I'm sorry. Please now.
Oh yeah, so there's a LiveWork Code in Oakland that was used for 20 years to legalize buildings here for primarily for artists, but also anyone who wanted to live in a commercial building and work in the same space. Mm-hmm. And in 2016, it was removed from ordinance. I think probably by mistake, about a week after the Ghost Ship fire on the 13th of December. And it's about 3 years later now. We're in a triennial code adoption cycle where we once again repeal and reenact local amendments to the California State Building Code and Housing Code. And this ordinance that legalizes live work still has not been added back. And I guess I'm just here to say there's an entire community of folks living in live work buildings that need to take out building permits, right, to abate hazard in their buildings. Yeah. Without the building code that allows them to do that, they can't lawfully remove hazard from their own buildings.
So and situations that makes them operate unlawfully without their knowledge.
Yeah, and I really think, I just want to say, I think this is one of those things where to me it just seems like a mistake and an oversight that just simply needs to be corrected.
What's been the city response so far? Or is it too early?
Right, so the city response, was delayed. But they committed to actually perfecting a better LiveWork Code. And in fact, my nonprofit Safer DIY Spaces is a participant in perfecting this new LiveWork Code. The problem is that's going to take some time to produce. And right now, we have a lot of folks, in non-conforming buildings that are LiveWork buildings that require this code to basically become legal, to take out building permits. So we don't want to wait. We don't want the good to be the enemy of the perfect, right? The perfect to be the enemy of the good.
Sure.
And that's the situation we're in, where we really want to have some kind of stopgap solution for people that just genuinely want to take out permits, get their buildings inspected, and so on, to do so. And it's just simply the case that legally right now, because the local LiveWork Code is not in ordinance, you can have plan checkers who are like, hey, you're citing this code that doesn't exist. And then on the flip side, you can have code enforcement saying, hey, when are you going to fix your building? If you don't fix your building soon, maybe you can't stay there anymore. And that puts people in a state of housing precarity. And a predominant number of folks in these buildings are low-income communities. It's just really important to note. There's a large number, a large immigrant population, a lot of day laborers, not just artists who know how to build out their space, seeking to legalize, really just waiting for this code to come back. And I think writ large, the city of Oakland does understand that we do need to readopt this code. The question is, it's been 3 years and there's competing demands by the city to fix a building when there's no code to do it. So it's a catch-22, and I'm just here to kind of say, look, I'm not interested in finger pointing at all. I just want people in a state of housing precarity, right, to be able to have safe, affordable, live-work housing and to be able to legalize their buildings. And there's got to be some stopgap solution if it's not reenacting this code today, which probably won't happen. There should be some affordance made so that folks can do that. And, I can think of a couple options, but I would leave it to the city council and the building department. One thing to do might be to allow what are called temporary certificates of occupancy to be issued until this new LiveWork Code comes into effect or until it becomes reenacted. That would allow people to legally occupy the buildings they're in. Right now, you really can't do that except for like a month or maybe 3 months. It's very expensive. They're very hard to get. Another thing would be to for permit issuance dates on compliance plans, for that to also be deferred until a new LiveWork Code's adopted, because you can't promise that you're going to have a permit issued when the code that you need has been read out of ordinance. And this whole thing was really just, I think, a mistake, and it was just I honestly think it was probably an honest mistake, but it's had significant consequences. So we really want, I'm just here to say, let's help, our vulnerable community members that really just, even if you have everything else you need, you have the capital, the will, owners and tenants working together, wanting to legalize their building so we don't have another ghost ship fire. This lack of this code is a significant barrier to doing that right now. And I don't think anyone in Oakland wants that. Everyone wants safer buildings.
Hey, is there a website where people can reach out to you?
Sure.
If they wanna get involved?
Yeah, you can go to, it's rather wordy, it's safer, SAFER, DIY, like do it yourself, spaces.org.
Hey, thanks.
Sure.
Thank you.